Psychodynamic Theory by Sigmund Freud. According to psychodynamic theory, personality is a result of unconscious psychological conflicts and how effectively these are resolved by the individual. So these conflicts have its origin in the childhood years both. We're going to tackle the key concepts of psychodynamic theory. The personality triad. So the personality triad includes the light and the dark triad. The dark triad is a phrase you're unlikely to have heard around the workplace, but is one of the buzzwords in the world of psychology. It refers to three distinct but related personality traits: narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. On the other hand, the light triad consists of traits of Kantianism, humanism, and faith in humanity. So Kantianism is when we treat people as means to themselves, as opposed to a means to an end. Humanism is valuing the dignity and worth of each individual person. Faith in humanity is when we believe that people are fundamentally good. Psychosexual development. Psychosexual development is a central element of the psychoanalytic sexual drive theory. Freud believed that personality developed through a series of childhood stages in which pleasure-seeking energies from the id become a focus of certain erogenous areas. The five psychosexual stages are the oral, the anal, the phallic, the latent, and the genital. So in the oral stage, with the age range 0 to 1 year old, so at this stage, the children derive pleasure from the oral activities, including sucking and tasting. They like to put things in their mouth. In the anal stage, 2 to 3 years old, children begin potty training. The phallic stage, 3 to 6 years old, boys are more attached to their mother, while girls are more attached to their father. So, the Electra and Oedipus complex po. The latency stage, 6 years old to puberty. Children spend more time and interact mostly with same-sex peers. In the genital stage, beyond puberty, individuals are attracted to opposite sex peers. Psychosocial development. So in psychosocial development, it focuses on the resolution of different crises to become a successful and complete person. So in this psychosocial development, there are 8 stages given by Erik Erikson. The trust versus mistrust, from birth to 12 months of age. This occurs when adults meet a child's basic needs for survival. The autonomy versus shame and doubt. Toddler stage po, ages 1 to 3 years old, begin to explore their world. They learn that they can control their actions and act on their environment to get results. The toddler's main task is to resolve the issue of autonomy versus shame and doubt by working to establish independence. This is the me do it stage. Initiative versus guilt, ages 3 to 6 years old, the preschool stage. They are capable of initiating activities and asserting control over their world through social interactions and play. The children must resolve the task of initiative versus guilt by learning to plan and achieve goals while interacting with others. The preschool children can master these tasks. In industry versus inferiority, this is where the stage where elementary children po, stage of elementary po, ages 6 to 12. Children face the task in this stage when the children begin to compare themselves with their peers to see how they measure up. They either develop a sense of pride and accomplishment in their schoolwork, sports, social activities, and family life, or they feel inferior and inadequate because they feel that they don't measure up. In identity versus role confusion, adolescent stage, adolescent's main task is developing a sense of self. You're struggling with the question, who am I? What do I want to do with my life? Intimacy versus isolation, early adulthood 20s through early 40s. After we have developed a sense of self in adolescence, we are ready to share our life with others. Generativity versus stagnation. When people reach their 40s, they enter the time known as middle adulthood, which extends to the mid-60s. Generativity involves finding your life's work and contributing to the development of others through activities such as volunteering, mentoring, and raising children. Those who do not master these tasks may experience stagnation and feel as though they are not leaving a mark on the world in a meaningful way. Integrity versus despair. From the mid-60s to the end of life, we are in the period of development known as late adulthood. According to Eric Erikson, people in late adulthood reflect on their lives and feel either a sense of satisfaction or a sense of failure. Next key concept is the drive theory. So, drive theory is based on the principle that organisms are born with certain psychological needs and that a negative state of tension is created when these needs are not satisfied. When a need is satisfied, drive is reduced and the organism returns to a state of homeostasis and relaxation. The attachment theory. Attachment theory is a psychological, evolutionary, and ethological theory concerning relationships between humans. The most important tenet is that young children need to develop a relationship with at least one primary caregiver for normal social and emotional development. So this is Bowlby's theory of attachment. He suggests that children come into the world biologically pre-programmed to form attachments with others because this will help them to survive. A child has an innate or inborn need to attach to one main attachment figure. So the last key concepts is the archetypes. So archetypes, this is proposed by Carl Jung, the Jungian archetypes. Archetypes are universal, inborn models of people, behaviors, or personalities that play a role in influencing human behavior. They were introduced by the Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung, who suggested that these archetypes were archaic forms of innate human knowledge passed down from our ancestors. So there are four major Jungian archetypes: personal versus collective unconscious, the persona, the self, the shadow, the anima, and the animus. So that's all about the key concepts of psychodynamic theory.